everything is possible. When you leave your home, then things are possible. As long as you are sitting inside your home and you just think things in your mind and you don't start the execution, things don't happen. When you start the execution, things happen only after that. You always start with your own money. You spend 10, 15 years working very hard in setting up the factory, because you know that once the factory is set up, then you can relax and you can enjoy later part of the life. I just had the attitude of not leaving the things half done. Like for early stage founders, it's very important for them to be able to understand how to communicate the requirement or communicate the ideas to the developers. Really, I started from zero. My journey really started from zero. But the best thing with me and the much I know about myself is like I really keep myself open to learning till date. Like I keep myself open to learning. Every day I learn many things.
Hi everyone, welcome to this new show of Diary of a Founder, our podcast series. As you know, that this is a show where we talk to fellow founders. This series is by the founders, with the founders, and for the founders. We also try to cover the journey of founders from Bangalore to Bay Area via London, so that we know people across the globe how they are building stuff and how is it like different in every region of the world. So yeah, Bala and I are the host of this podcast series, and guest with us is Gurprit.
So Gurprit is a very good friend, and he's what I would call like a textbook definition of an entrepreneur who's like right after college had a belief, dove straight into the idea, fully committed to it, and have been executing on it for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, relentless execution and persistence. I'm sure we will all have like tons to learn from this. And it's been a bootstrapped startup for so long, building a successful startup organically and growing it so far. It's an incredible journey. Yeah, I'm super excited to have you, Gurpreet. And he also mentioned that this is his first podcast appearance. So thanks for that.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Pragati and Bala, and I'm very excited. I'll be very happy to share my journey, and if my journey can help any of your audience, I'll feel even more happy. I'll feel even more satisfied.
Great. We always start
Yeah.
with the journey before the startup, right? What led you to the startup, right? You can start from wherever you want, your early days of life.
People have started from like from the time they were born. So yeah, I'm just like,
Nowadays, yeah. So in our times, when I finished my study, AI was not that developed that time. So you couldn't start when right from the time when you were born. You had to study, you had to learn the things before you can start anything. So during my studies, I was always into finance, into numbers, into mathematics. Like throughout my study, I excelled in maths, accounts, and everything related to. So finance was my strong passion right from a long time. So after finishing my study, I got opportunity to work for a UK mortgage brokering company in their back office in India in Gurgaon. So in older days, many financial businesses, big financial businesses of UK would have their back offices, BPOs and back end processes in countries like India and Philippines. I got opportunity. There I got the understanding of nitty gritties of the actual things related to credit and loan and mortgage and what all things underwriters check and what does underwriting means. Because before that, whenever I used to heard the word underwriter, undertaker used to come to my mind. I did not know what underwriting means, but I learned everything from that experience. And after that, I tried a couple of other things. And I also think it's important to mention that I was born in a business family. So my parents, my father was a businessman. My uncles, all uncles, they all were businessmen. So one in my family was a businessman, uh, and he's a businessman today as well. But they do slightly different type of businesses. And those businesses are operated in slightly different way. Like the way you manage your employee in factories is totally different. The way you can manage in offices, because the kind of people work there and the kind of people work here is totally different. So it took me long time to learn the skill to understand how we can how what is the best way to manage employees in the office, manage like educated, highly educated, sophisticated people in the office. It took me some time, but it was a journey. It was a learning journey. And business teaches you everything. Like if you keep yourself open to learning, if you keep yourself as a student, business and life gives you many opportunities to learn and to optimize and make yourself better every single day.
Yeah. So, what led you to this startup? Like, what is the genesis of this idea? Yeah, you were working on this industry. Yeah, you got the exposure, but what got you into this idea?
Cool. Yep. So, as I mentioned, I was born in business family. So I did couple of businesses after doing that job in the mortgage brokering company, and I was not feeling satisfaction, like satisfied, and I wanted to do something which has a wider impact, like a bigger impact to a wider base. And because I was always interested in financial things, so I wanted to do something in financial services area, financial industry. And because I had worked with in mortgage industry, in mortgage companies, so I knew how that credit works, how lending works. So that made it easy for me to narrow down the area where I want to work. And credit was the area I wanted. I decided I'll work after identifying what I want to do, where I want to work. So I started doing some R&D in Indian market, because I was born in India. I was raised in India. I was in India that point of time, and I realized the comparison platforms of India. I won't name them because I'm not sure if naming them would be a right thing to do or not. But all the comparison platforms of India, loan comparison platforms of India, would show customers teaser rates when they come to apply for loan. Like you go there, you fill up a loan application form, they'll ask you your contact details and name, and then they'll show you a big list of banks and lenders like ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, and everything is hard coded. Like nothing is real. If you go to that website, you'll see exact same list of banks and lenders. If I go there, I would see exact same list of banks and lenders. And customers, innocent customers, would spend 10, 15, 20 minutes comparing one against others, while in reality they're not going to get any of them. So I thought it's a good area, because comparison is not transparent. If customer like bank one, HDFC Bank, then the moment they accept the offer, bank comparison website will redirect them to the bank website, and it's only on the bank website customer is filling up actual lengthy loan application form. And if HDFC Bank decline the customer, or the rates offered by HDFC Bank is way higher than the rate customer saw on the comparison website, customer would have to come back to comparison website, select second bank, repeat the same process on ICICI Bank. If ICICI Bank also decline, then repeat the same process multiple times. So though it's a problem area to solve. And why I thought it's a good problem area to solve, because in every other industry, like flight booking, hotel booking, Skyscanner was already showing real flight prices to the customer. Booking.com was already showing real hotel prices to the customer. So I thought, why not there is a single comparison website in India which can show real guaranteed prices to the customer in real time, like with a single loan application form. So from there I started working on the idea. But very quickly, I realized that Indian ecosystem was not ready for real rate loan comparison marketplace. I'm talking about 2015, 16, 17. So 10 years back, fintech was not that much evolved in India at that point of time. Even when I did some research on CIBIL, which was the main bureau, I'm not sure if it's still the main bureau of
It is.
It
it
is.
also don't have a very organized data. Like in your credit profile or your credit file, it will show my credit card, and in Prakti's credit file, civil file, it will show Prakti's family members' credit cards and things like that. So I thought, like, if the foundation is not there, if the infrastructure is not there, there's no way we can build a comparison platform which can do this real-time loan comparison, real-time decision making with guaranteed offers. So then I had to look outside India, because I identified a problem statement when I did some research in US market and UK market. I realized actually it's not only India where there's no such real comparison platform. There's no real loan comparison platform anywhere in the world. So not even in US and UK. And I was very interested to launch in US, to build some business in US, because as an Indian, whenever you think of West, US comes to your mind as a first country. It's a very big, very powerful country and very rich country. So I did heavy research in US market. And after doing some research, I realized that the regulation, the complexity of US is very different to India and other countries, because in US there are 50 states. Every state has its own set of regulation, like related to credit products, financial products. For you to be able to sell a financial product in some state, you need a state license. And then on top of that, every state also has to comply with the federal law. Like every state has to comply with two set of laws. So I thought it would be too much hassle for me to learn the complexity regulation of 50 different state and the fed state, and then manage a business or build a business when I even don't know whether the idea I'm thinking in my mind can be useful to the market, can be useful to the customers or not. So though it will be too much of a hassle and risk, then the next best country which came to my mind was UK. And UK came to my mind because I had a working experience with a UK based company. I decided to build this business for market.
Can you talk about a little bit timelines that like you thought about this idea, then you were doing some research on India, then you went to US and I mean you were researching US and then what is the timeline look?
Before actually setting up the company in UK, I had spent almost 1 year in doing my research. I spent like I lived in US for 6, 7, 8 months to understand US, to feel US. I was attending a lot of fintech events and a lot of like global fintech events, lending events, to understand the space, to understand the businesses of other competitors or other players in the market. And yeah, it took me 6, 8 months in US. After that, I came back to India, and then I spent some time in UK.
I think what's interesting is you found a problem in the Indian market and you started thinking about solving it.
Yeah.
You found it hard. Then you started chasing something even harder, right? US is probably the hardest market to crack,
Yeah.
especially if you are not there. In terms of scale, you were not trying to start small, you were trying to start big. So,
Yeah.
how did you think about that?
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier as well, I want to do something which has a bigger impact, which can impact wider population. So doing something which is a big scale thing was always in my mind. I want to do something which is a big scale, because otherwise, like if you're from a business family, you can make money. Like for a business man to make money is one thing. Like it's not very easy, but it's not very difficult, especially when the entire family has a business track record. So I want to do something which has an impact as well, like on a bigger population. So hence I wanted to build a business or do business in a country which is big enough market for this type of product or solution.
So you mentioned that you joined the back office.
It was a mortgage broker of UK-based mortgage broker, and mortgage is basically home loan. In India, we call it home loan. Like if you want to buy a property with a bank loan, that's called mortgage in UK.
Okay, got it, got it. So, were you always clear that you will start a business before even getting into? Because
I'm a chartered accountant by qualification. So when I was doing chartered accountancy, I had no idea about tech, because the time I finished my schooling in 2007, those two things were very famous for student those time, MBA and CA. Those two things were trending, and software engineering came to trend a little later. Yeah, so I did chartered accountancy, and I think I it was a good decision of my past, because when you do chartered accountancy in India, they not only teach you accounting, they teach you many aspects of business world, corporate world. Law is a very focused, very dedicated subject in chartered accountancy. Corporate law, credit instrument law, negotiable instrument law, business law, those sort of things. And in highly regulated countries like UK and US, if you have a understanding, if you know how to read law, law, how to understand the spirit of law, then it makes things easier for you to do regulated, to operate a regulated business, and which is actually helping me nowadays. So that CA did not help me anywhere in India, but it's helping me, and that's why like old people used to say, like your learnings never go waste. You always benefit from whatever you learn. And because the teachers who were teaching me business law or corporate law in India during my chartered accountant, they were very focused on making sure that students not only learn the law word by word, they learn how to interpret the words, how to interpret the law, and how to understand the spirit of law. So I had a very strong basic understanding of how to understand law. because I had a good understanding, it made it easy for me to get the FCA permission. So when we decided to set up this business in May 2016, I applied for the FCA authorization. FCA is a regulator of UK market. Financial Conduct Authority is a full form.
That's great.
How did you like? How did these conversations go? Like they understand that from their point of view, they wanted to know more about your story. But at that point, when you didn't have any business, you were just starting, you just had some thoughts and ideas. How were you able to communicate that? Like,
Everything is possible. When you leave your home, then things are possible. As long as you are sitting inside your home and you just think things in your mind and you don't start the execution, things don't happen. When you start the execution, things happen only after that. So yeah, they have stable, a robust application process as well. The key important things they check in the authorization applications or licensing applications is like, do you understand the space? Do you have experience? Do you have skill? And do you know what you want to do? How that will impact? What impact it will have? I had experience as an employee in the UK credit space through that mortgage brokering company. So that has helped me to reply back to them in the best possible way, which has helped me in my case. So again, research is very important. Like homework is very important. If you don't do homework, if you don't spend time in learning the things, then these things become a roadblocker. You just don't know how to
yeah,
reply, how to answer their questions. But with research, with spending time on learning, you can find out what these things are, why are they asking those questions, then it becomes easy to answer accordingly. Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So what next? Now you got your approval. Yeah. What happened next?
So the idea was clear that we want to make loan comparison platform which can show guaranteed offers in real time with guaranteed APRs. So after setting up the company, after applying for FCA license, we started building a product. We started building the product to achieve this USP. And just to add some more information about my journey, because I was from a financial background, I mentioned that I did chartered accountancy. And during those times, household computers were also not very famous. Like you would only have computer if you are either a software programmer or into coding, or in some cases, other people would also have computer. But I did not have any personal computer, when I finished my school. So I did not know.
This is which year? Which year is this? You did not have a computer.
I think till 2008, 9, I did not have computer. Really, I did not have computer. I did not also know how to check CBSE results. So, like to check my 10th and 12th board exam results, I would go to cafe. I would ask cafe owner to check my result because I did not know how to operate websites, how to do those things. I was totally I was not into computers and those things. I did not know the ABC of software programming. So even after finishing chartered accountancy, even at the time of starting the business, I did not know ABC of product development or digital business building or software programming. And I just thought, okay, if I hire employees, if I tell them what I am thinking in my mind, what we want to build, they'll be able to build. However, it don't work like that. Very quickly, I realized that you might think something in your mind and you visualize in some certain way, but other people, when you tell them the same thing, they visualize it in a totally different way. And
yeah,
the main struggle which founders and their tech team usually face is like the interpretation of the ideas and the explanation of ideas. And it took me really long time to understand how to work with software developers in the right way, because I was not from coding background. I did not understand their language, and I used to struggle to understand simple workflows like blueprints, very simple, basic workflows and blueprints. But just like I mentioned, your business teaches you a lot. So over a period of time, I learned how to explain my ideas to the developers in a way, in documented way, so that there's no way they misunderstand it and they miss anything. And the final product they build is actually what I was looking for in my mind. So I have learned this during this journey of the business, but I had no idea about software programming. I started from zero. My journey really started from zero. But the best thing with me and the much I know about myself is like, I really keep myself open to learning till date. Like I keep myself open to learning every day. I learn many
Yeah.
things. did
Yeah, I
my
can understand.
I
This is
introspect myself every single day, every after every main event, I introspect, I audit myself so that I learn from my own, through my own. Because one other thing is the fact that after your school, after your college, you don't have teacher anymore. You don't have anyone to tell you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, how the things can be done in better way. But without teacher, you just can't optimize yourself going forward. So the best thing you can do as a founder, as a person, you make yourself your own teacher. Because the day you made your own teacher, then you don't need external teachers. Your own teacher, your own self tells you what you have done right, what you have done wrong, and what you could have done better. But again, that require you to be a really student mindset person, and to be a person like who's very alert, very disciplined, like who believe in self improvement.
yeah, yeah. So in this 30-minute itself, we found so many examples of you demonstrating that. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
From being someone with finance background, like I'm really inspired by your journey of getting into the area of product management, right? And learning how to communicate the requirements accurately with the
Yeah,
your team, because that is exactly what a product manager does, and people actually do like 2 or 3 year or 4 year courses to learn that,
yeah.
which you did.
Learn from my own personal practical yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, for early stage founders, it's very important for them to be able to understand how to communicate the requirement or communicate the ideas to the developers. Because if you can't communicate your requirement or ideas to your development team, then you struggle, or they struggle to build what you want to build. And I've seen many early stage startups where the friction is just this. Even though the founders are from technical background, but
yeah,
they lack the skill to explain the requirement, to communicate the requirement, and yeah,
yeah. But say, reflecting on this, what I understood is because you had so much clarity on what you want to build, what you want it out, even though you didn't know the technical way to communicate it,
yeah,
you were able to find a way to do it, right?
yeah,
I think the clarity on the vision is the key here. Yeah,
yeah,
is what I gather.
yeah. Yeah, you've said the very right thing. Clarity is very important. So if you don't clearly know what exactly you mean, then you want the whole world, but whole world can't be given to you, and you have to find out one thing which you want to do and how exactly you want it to be done. Also, when you try to clarify your ideas, you make it like very robust, and you think from multiple angles. So again, one also important thing when founders or early stage founders try to build some product, even though MVP, like the words which are very famous nowadays, MVPs and phase one product, phase two product, even though you want to build MVP, actually you want to develop MVP, but the planning should be comprehensive. The planning should be complete around the product, about the usage of the product and how it will plug into your current infrastructure and how it will lay down the foundation for the future products. You plan properly, you plan completely. After that, you can decide, you can cut the full plan into pieces and you can decide what should be built in phase one, what should be built in phase two.
Yeah.
But if you just try to think the MVP one and you don't think comprehensively, then MVPs always fail. In
Yeah,
those
that's really.
MVPs always fail. You don't achieve what you wanted to achieve, what you want to achieve with the MVP, and then you think, okay, the idea is scrap. No, idea is not scrap. You did not do your homework fully. If you had done the homework fully, you would have already seen where the MVP would fail. You would have already planned what would how the MVP should look like or should be built. Because by thinking or by planning comprehensively, you foresee the future things coming to you, and then because you're already planning at planning stage, you plan it accordingly and
Yeah,
plan
I think
alternate ways.
again. So I think this is what Andreessen calls it, the idea maze. Yeah, as a founder, you have to navigate through the idea maze to see
Yeah.
what are all the paths this can take, and you have a solution for all the potential paths, right? So yeah, then you work backwards and build the smallest minimum product you want to build. Yeah, you are explaining
That
the same
require,
concept. Yeah,
that require a lot of homework, a lot of patience, the willingness to take the pain. Because thinking more, planning more, it's also a stress to the mind, and it also gives you pain. If you're not willing to take the pain, then sometimes you struggle if you don't plan things properly.
But like I think what I wanted to add is right that sometimes it is also the lack of knowledge or awareness that leads people to failure, right? Like for example, nowadays we keep talking about MVP, like start with a small version, then think about where it will go, which makes people probably it could give a wrong impression to people that let me just figure out what bare minimum I can do first, and then let's figure out what we can where we can go from there. But now, and this is exactly the reason why we are doing this, and like a lot of people are spreading the knowledge that even when you do MVP, you should have or you must have some sort of a long term vision as to like where you want to go, and hence like work backwards from that and figure out what could be the minimum set of things that you can test right now to be able to say that this will work. So sometimes I also feel it's lack of awareness or knowledge that makes people do this, and hopefully like after hearing this people will not do that. We are
Yeah.
solving for it.
So, yeah, if planning is done properly, you rarely fail in your ideas, in your execution. If you don't plan properly, you mostly fail. So this is the difference. Yeah, people like the viewers can decide whether they want to spend more time in planning. In our case, in LoanTube, it takes we spend more time on planning, like actually more time on planning and less time on actually coding. So coding is quicker because the planners, the employees who have the responsibility to plan, they spend more time in planning, and they simplify the requirement so much that it's no brainer for the developers to do the coding part, and they finish the things very quickly.
Yeah. So yeah, that takes me to the next question. So between the FCA license and the first version, how long was it? How big was the
I
team?
did not
Uh,
mention what was the first version. When we got the FC license, we started building the products. We thought the way we can achieve real guaranteed decisioning and pricing and scorecard matching and APRs calculation is only when we have end-to-end decisioning of all the participant lenders hosted within LoanTube. Then once we have the application form, we will process the application form internally and the filters and the policies of all the lenders. And in real time, we can form a decision on behalf of lenders and we can show it to the customers. So we thought this is a way we can achieve this real comparison USP. And we spent 2 years in building a very comprehensive, very massive decision engine. Why I say very massive? Because we wanted to make sure our decision engine is so capable to host any type of policy of lenders, any type of complex policy, any type of pricing policy of lenders. Because if our decision engine is not very comprehensive, lenders won't be able to replicate their underwriting and decisioning within LoanTube. So we spent 2 years in building that massive product. After building it, tech team and I came to UK with some other. By that time, we had some employees in UK already, so we started giving demo to some of the tech savvy lenders of the UK market, and we showed them the demo. We told them this is what we want to achieve. This is a USP we want to achieve. We want to make transparent. They all liked the idea. Every single lender we spoke to, they liked the idea. They said, okay, this will be the next thing in the comparison space. But they all also said one same thing, one common thing, that they cannot disclose their end-to-end underwriting to a third-party provider. Disclosing end-to-end underwriting pricing to a third-party provider can put their business into a big risk, and which is true as well. But we had already spent 2 years in building that MVP phase 1 product. So the team got really demotivated at that point of time. Like like the developers, our CTO at that point of time was working on the product for 2 years, and they started thinking that I don't know the space. I just don't know what how to achieve what I want to achieve, and I lack the information, and which basically give them the reason to get demotivated. And most of our tech team resigned at that point of time after going back to India. We spent some days in UK, like we made some trips here and there. And the day we went back to India after giving demos, half of the tech team resigned the same week. And that was the lowest moment in the history of LoanTube. Until that point of time, I did not know ABC of product development or coding or technology. But because that put the business in so much risk, I had already spent 3 4 years, a lot of money, because it took us 1 year to get FCA license, and 2 years after that building the product. and I was spending a lot of family money into the business. I decided to take the charge, and from there I started learning the product development, the nitty gritties of coding, and how to work with coders, how to understand their language, how to communicate with them. And we hired a fresh team of developers. And I also want to mention Anis. So we hired Anis, who has been working with us for 7 years now. Is a big pillar in the business, who supported me a lot and helped me understand how to work with developers. So that was a moment from where I decided, okay, I'll learn everything. First, I'll learn product development. I'll learn engineering, basics of engineering. I don't code myself, but when I read code, I can make sense. I can understand what exactly is being done or is happening. Yeah.
Just on this, do you think you should have gone about this differently? Let's say if you had to start today, what would you have done differently?
Before I answer this question, I also want to, because it's for the founders, and I'm assuming a lot of early stage founders would also view this video. So I mentioned that the moment half of the tech team resigned was the lowest moment. That was the only incident in the business which made me nervous. Like I was actually very nervous to know that okay, so many people are resigning at the same point of time. Even like UK employees, they resigned during the same week or two, and it was a big risk, big nervous moment for me. And I knew the idea which I am working on is really useful, is really the next thing in the comparison space. And I had a strong belief in myself, and hence I did not quit. Because during some of these incidents or this sort of situation, people quit. But really believe in something, like if you really know it's only a time, it's only a matter of time, or matter of multiple more tries to crack it, then continue believing in that, and continue building the product, or working on the idea, because things happen. Sometimes some things take time. And also there is one more fact which helped me navigate that stage of the business. So in my life, I never got success in the first attempt. Ever, never ever got success in the first. I got failed when I was in standard two, second class. Like I was so weak in studies. Like usually when I was studying, I was in school in New Delhi. Schools would never fail students up to fourth or fifth or sixth standard. Even though you're very weak, they'll promote you to the next class. But I was so weak that they decided to not let me go to third standard, and they made me redo second class again because I was very weak. But that was a moment which I remember in my mind, because I saw my parents were so like sad because of me staying in the same class and school failing or telling me that okay, I failed. That was a trigger moment, like a life changing moment in my life. And after that, the very first unit test in the next second year class, I got first. Like I came first in the class. I worked so hard, and unit test used to happen every 3 months. Like I'm not sure what is the education system right now in India, but we had unit test every 3 months. So I came first, not only in our in my class, in the entire second year. Like there were multiple sections, section A, B, C. I came first. I worked very hard during
This
those.
is what they say, right?
Yeah,
Whatever doesn't kill you will only make you stronger. So Gurprit got stronger
yeah.
when
It's like you developed resilience in your second standard.
In my second year, like I was literally like 6, 7, 7, 8 years old student at that point of time. And after that, I don't remember if I ever got less than 99 or 100 in mathematics. Like I used to get 100 out of 100 throughout. Like there may be one or two events or incidents where I would get 99 or 98. So I built that sort of attitude not to lose. So if I use those words, and that helped me because I already knew that okay, I don't get successes in first attempt. That thought helped me during the stage when half of the team resigned. So I knew okay, it will take me maybe one or two more attempts, but I knew this idea can really change the comparison space. So I continued working on the idea. I had a strong belief. I had a belief in myself. I had a belief in the idea, and I decided to rehire the development team and continue with them. And then we pivoted from phase one, where we were expecting all the lenders to share everything to LoanTube for LoanTube to achieve the USP. We pivoted from that model to a more API based model. So we still have that massive decision engine, and many lenders nowadays, current lenders, host their end-to-end policy. And current model is more API based. Like we built some APIs, we pitched to the same lender. We came back to UK after a few months by changing after changing the product. We told them, okay, you are nervous in sharing your underwriting. That's totally fine. We have pivoted our product and we have built some APIs. You can host your, you can control your decisioning within your environment, but we build the API through which you can communicate with us in real time, and you can pass on decision back to us in real time. And some of the lenders were comfortable. They said, okay, if we have the full control on our decisioning and the decisioning is fully like not disclosed to a third party, we can work with you. And then we launched in UK on second Monday of January 2019. We intentionally thought second Monday would be a better day to launch, because during the first Monday, like during the first week, people come back from holidays, and in UK, let give some time to people to settle back in their offices, and then launch in second launch.
Also good from a point of view that they've spent all their money on the holidays and now they're looking for a loan.
Yeah. However, we did not have that in mind. We had we were thinking more from the lender side, that okay, the people we would need to work with on the lenders businesses, they would be in offices in their offices back on second Monday. But what happened on first Monday of January 2019? Some other company launched the real rate, exact same proposition in UK market. Till that point of time, we had no idea that there is someone else also working on exactly same model, exactly same product. If we knew that there's someone else also working on that product, we might have launched few weeks back, because we were already ready.
Yeah, I have like a couple of questions. Yeah, one question on the launch, but before that, did you say you rehired the same team or you rebuilt the team
Team.
from scratch?
Already had the same people. Once employee tell you he or she want to leave, you let them go. You better let them go until unless employee is really very critical. Then you try to find a way to make the employee stay in the business. But when the employee show their willingness or show their intention to leave, it's better to let them go. Yeah, because otherwise association don't go really well with.
Yeah.
Yeah, work with heart, half mind, half heart, and yeah, it's not good for the business.
And like, so I also had a question on this, that you said that you pivoted from that model, right, where you were housing all the decision making underwriting models of these financial organizations. From there, you pivoted to an API based system where you don't have. This looks very intuitive now that we are talking about it, right? But I'm sure when you were in it, this would have taken you a lot of time to figure
It
out.
takes more time for the first mover.
Correct. So how did you like get to that place? Like how did this idea pivot into this kind of a solution? What went through it? Because this looks like a significant pivot in how you are approaching the problem statement.
When when our first MVP, our first product failed to convince lenders, we went back to India, and we understood, we accepted that we don't have understanding of how lender systems are currently built, or how their systems looks like, and we also accepted the fact that we just don't fully yet know what is required or what can solve, what can help us achieve the USP. So we decided to take help from some of the people who were in the industry, who were working in the industry, who had worked with lenders and brokers, both, who have seen both side of the tech infrastructure and other things. And I want to name one person, Peter Moore. So he's head of credit risk in some very big company in UK. So we decided to take help from him, and he joined us as a consultant for a short period of time to basically teach us how the things are happening currently, and how you can achieve what you want to achieve. So he would do sessions with me and the new tech team on whiteboard, like on glassboard, and he would tell us how those things are working currently. how exactly you can build and what you should be building to work with the lenders. And that basically gave us some hints, and you need a hint usually to basically go deeper and explore further. So Peter's those sessions gave us some hints, and then going deeper in those hints gave us the idea, okay, what can we now do? Go back to the same lenders, because we can't go back to the same lenders with the exactly same product. We had to go back. We had to make something which is significantly different, because we knew like they're nervous in sharing their secret sources, their secret underwriting policies. So we had to achieve it some other way.
Yeah. So, sorry, just going back to this low moment, right? I think every startup, every founder goes through these points, right? And it's about how you come back on the other side, right? So we can say, yeah, belief makes it come out, but it's still not easy, right? What was your framework, or like how did you push yourself to come out on the other side? Help us your psychological process here to help founders when we cross that path.
It's very important for any founder, no matter if it's a early stage business or a late stage grown established business, for the founders to be mentally very strong and mentally like very confident, because if you're not very strong mentally and you easily get stressed out due to some events or incidents, or due to some excitement related events or stress related events, then sometimes you struggle, and sometimes like your feelings basically make it even more difficult for you to come out of the situation. So having a good control on your feelings is very important, so that you can allow your mind to your brain for the brain side of the brain to work, because in brain also we have many sides like feeling sides, and there's some technical names which I don't know, but at a time either your intelligence side of the brain can work or your emotion side of the brain can work. Both cannot work together at the same time. You have to control the other side for this side to work. If you can't control your emotional side, your intelligence side of the brain would not be fully efficient or into full operation. But again, is the business who teaches how to manage yourself, how to manage your emotions, when to get excited, when not to get excited. I want to mention here, because you have reminded me of an incident. So I have a habit. It can be a good habit or a bad habit depending on how you see it. Whenever some key employee leave the company, I do a session with that leaving employee. I always sit with a leaving employee for an hour or two, and I take the feedback. I tell that person that give me your honest feedback on many different areas. And because employee has already resigned, it's last day of the employee. They don't usually feel nervous. They don't usually try to make something sweeter, because they've already resigned and it's the last day. So they are usually honest in those sessions. And the CTO, which I said, like when we went back to India, who resigned from the company, I did a session with him. That was the first time I did a session with some key employee, and he taught me some important things. I won't mention all of the things in this podcast, but one of the important thing he told me, that I don't have full control on my emotions. I easily get very motivated, very excited, and I easily get very distressed as well. And because of that, I'm taking wrong random decisions here and there. And I really remember, like I really started working on that, and the fact that I remember is a confirmation that yes, I really took it seriously, and I started working on it. And because someone told me that this is happening with me, it helped me to work on that, because sometimes you
Yeah,
need someone to tell you what
exactly.
you're doing. And after that, I started working on myself. I started reading myself, understanding myself, because the best thing you can do to yourself is to understand yourself. Once
Yeah.
you're in yourself and you're honest to yourself, then everything is achievable.
But these are very, very deep, Gurprit. Like it's not easy, right?
Not easy. Yeah,
To
it's
understand
easy, but it's
yourself.
doable. It's very doable.
And you can't really change it or do anything about it. But when you told about your story, that you like obviously right now I know that you're resilient, and like you have given us ample examples to show that you have that control. But listening from you, that there was a time when you actually got this feedback and you worked on that feedback. This
Many times people told me, you do something else. You can't build startups. You can't build fintechs. And Many times in UK, people told me during days of LoanTube that it's so crowded space. There are many big sharks. There's no way you can build a business here. You are outsider. You're not. You don't even. You're not even from the lending industry. You're based in India. It will be so much difficult for you. Like hundreds of people told me this. But just like I mentioned, like it's very important for the founder to be mentally very strong. And when you are mentally very strong, you know how to ignore those noises, because whatever you do, there will be set of people who would say it's difficult, it's impossible, you can't do it, and they'll question your ability. But because I had a long experience of winning in my life, so I knew people will question me throughout the journey, and a lot of people still question me, which is fine. Just like I mentioned, whatever you do, there will be a set of people who will question your ability. Yeah. So there were a lot of people who were basically giving me those feedbacks or those suggestions to basically quit or do something else, try something else, not to waste time on this. But I think in my case also. My family was very supportive. So nobody in my family ever put a pressure on me that I'm spending so many years, so much time on building it. Like they never, like nobody in my family ever gave me a hint that they are stressed or they are feeling bad because of me running or building this business. And I think the reason for that was they all had seen me right from my very early age that when I'm very serious, when I'm working on something, I usually conclude it, like complete it. I bring it to final stage. I don't leave the things in middle. So yeah, yeah, I just had the attitude of not leaving the things half done. Like as a founder, you need to have all those elements or those important things in you, like discipline and attitude and mindset and perseverance and yeah, willingness to win the world. If you don't have these things, you don't have to have these things on day one, but you have to build, like you have to gain all those learn how to become that person. If you can't become if you don't want to become, don't want to learn, or don't want to spend time and take pain to learn those things, then I won't say you're not you won't be a startup material. You can become a startup material or founder material at any point of time in your life. Yeah, you can start at any point of time, no matter what's your age, what stage you are at in your career. But these are important things to learn. You have to understand, like I have to be very disciplined, very honest with my work, and in my case, it's my business which keep running in my mind 24/7, non-stop, no matter wherever I am. Like I'll give an example. Even in my honeymoon, like I carried my it is actually not a good thing, because my if I reflect back, like there should be a clear separation when
Isn't it?
in
Yeah.
office, when you're in your personal life. But that was 7 years ago, so I've learned how to separate. Like when I go home, it's home time for family, for wife and kids. But in your mind, like things should be there, so that like it's like true love. Like when you love someone or like truly, then that person is in your mind constantly. Like whatever you're doing, wherever you're sitting, that person is in your mind. So in my case, like it's LoanTube which always stays in my mind, no
It's
matter I'm
interesting how
eating, no
you
matter
put
I'm
it.
in shower. Like I get a lot of ideas when I'm taking shower.
Yeah,
A lot
that
of people
happens to
say
a lot
this.
of founders.
A lot of founders say this, and there is a reason. I actually tried to understand why it happens with me, and why it is a case with many people. The reason is when you wake up after a long sleep or after a night sleep, you have re-energized your body and your brain, so it has a lot of energy. And when the brain is fully fresh with a lot of energy, is the right time for the brain to think about the problems and the solutions and the ideas. If you really love your business, and business is in your mind constantly, because if business is not in your mind, your brain can't generate ideas for the business.
Yeah. It's
It
like,
has to stay in your mind. But the reason you get ideas when you take shower is because that is the very first thing you do after you wake
And
up.
you're not actively doing anything. Like it is like a muscle
y-
memory that you're.
yeah, it's like your chat
Be
GPT.
mind throughout for brain to know, okay, which area to think about.
Yeah. It's like your chat GPT finishing up your deep research and like churning out output at the end of the session. Yeah.
One
Yeah.
is
I also like wake up when I wake up. I wake up with like tons of ideas. Like, yeah, I wake up with like, hey, list of things to do. Yeah, yeah.
And you get the idea the very first thing after you wake up because your business is in your mind. That's what your business want to solve or want to improve. Otherwise, you'll get ideas about other family or personal or other non-business related things. Yeah.
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 So
So,
Yeah.
that true love is very much required. If you don't truly love your business, then again,
yeah, that's
sometimes,
what like I wanted to like take a moment and appreciate the fact that you have equated the zeal to like start a company with like true love. Like this
yeah,
is going to be our title for this podcast. Like so you were talking about your pivot. I think we got a little bit into like what went into figuring out where to take the new direction in. So now that you have figured out that this is like going back to the time when you actually said that maybe let's change the product in such a way that it is more API based and instead of everything coming together in our platform. How did you get your first customers on board? What was the process like? And I think at this point you also have a new like tech team, right? So is there anything that you want to share around like how did you go about hiring your new tech team and getting your first customers on board?
cool. So you have asked multiple questions. Let me answer. Let me try to answer all of them one by one. So regarding rehiring the tech team, and just like I mentioned earlier, till that point of time, I was at stage zero for tech and product development. I did not know ABC. So it was very important for me to hire a right person. But I already also knew that I'm not technical person. I really can't judge technical skill set or technical capabilities of anyone because I'm not from technical background. Until that point of time, I did not know anything. So then, before hiring the person, I basically again I was introspecting myself and understanding how the approach should be to hire to rehire senior people. And then again, I think I took a very good decision to check for attitude and personality because I knew that the onus of finding what to build and like how the product should look like would be on me anyway. So let's hire a easy going, which is easy to work with, and where I have a feeling this person stay with the company, yeah, for a long period of time, even though the person does not have very shiny or fancy CV. So I think I took a very good decision because that is how I hired Anis. So I had in my mind I won't go for fancy big CVs or people from big companies, but I'll check for the personality. I'll use my instincts and gut feel about the person, and where whoever clicks me, I'll hire that person because I knew like it's not a scientific business where we need PhD in engineering or those people. It's a normal business where technology is a supporter. It's not like a quantum computing business where engineering or hardware engineering or those sort of knowledge is required. So yeah, that's how I rehired a team who stayed with me for a long period of time and helped me achieve the business. The other question you ask about the first customers, usually when we talk about digital business, the first thing that comes to mind is digital acquisition, ads, PPC, social media, because that is what that's how digital businesses acquire customers, or the people who are not yet into digital businesses, they know they know these are the only ways to acquire customers. So we launched in January 2019. We were spending a lot of money in PPC, social media, SEO. SEO was very relevant in 2018, 19. It's not relevant now. Like you don't get anything out of SEO anymore. But during those days, like SEO was working, and we had a big SEO. We had a big SEO team as well. We were able to generate a lot of customers because in PPC it's very easy. Like you spend money, you get customers. You don't really have to re-engineer a lot of things. However, it took us 6 months to like for first 6 months there was a zero sale. It's not because we were not able to generate customers or acquire customers. We were able to acquire customers, but we were expecting so much from the lenders, and we were the first of the few two companies who were expecting that sort of things from the lender. So if I go back in time, I think why it took us 6 months to get the first loan funded, because the terms we had with the lenders, we were asking them, if customer accept your offer, you can't change the loan amount, you can't change the APR, you'll have to give the loan to the customer on exactly same sort of terms which we have displayed to the customer. So I think because of those restricted or those strict reasons, lenders would also wanted they also wanted to make sure they basically throw the offer, return the offer on the right set of customers where they are confident. So again, that period was very stressful, when and getting no sale or achieving no sale, all the customers are getting declined and nothing is happening. That was a stressful period, but it was not as stressful as the time when the team decided to resign was. So after getting first sale in June 2019, our business picked up really well. And I also think one other reason why it took us 6 was because lenders also had restricted policies for our business, because they also wanted to be very cautious, and that we were India based. So I think that was also element, a reason for the lender to feel nervous in working with us, because entire team was based out of India. So they had to be more cautious, and hence I think they had very strict policies during the early days. But after getting first loan funding, we picked up really well, because we were already acquiring customers through digital marketing activities. And after seeing first loan funded, by end of December 2019, January 2020, we were in a good position. Like, we were already achieving enough money to uh, like to recover, to pay off salaries and all the sort of things. And I felt so much relief because it was a bootstrap business. Every month I was pumping in money from the family. But then we had COVID in Jan 2020.
Yeah. Before we go there, let's just. I wanted to understand this launch a little better. So
Yeah.
when you said launch, was it
Like a proper launch going
okay,
live, yeah, for the customers. Before that, we did not launch. Like there
okay?
was a website, but customers were not able to fill up the loan application forms. There was
No,
no
when you say so is it launch meaning from the readiness of the product, or is it like did you do marketing around thinking? Okay, so just
launch. Basically means readiness of the product, first version of the product, and then starting marketing as well, and letting lenders know, or lenders confirming that they are live with us. So it was that launch, yeah.
But you must have lined up all the lenders before the launch, right? Everybody is ready, but everybody
Integration
has
was
to be
completed. So between lenders and us, it was agreed that on 2nd January, second Monday of the January 2019, we will go live, and they were already ready for that. So integration work was done previous few months.
yeah. So I remember in Moneyview also, we remember our first loan that we disbursed. So
Yeah,
it was a Saturday morning, and
very significant
yeah,
event in our life.
sorry.
Very significant event of our life.
Yeah, so very similar story, Gurprit. But we put out the product. We were doing marketing, and nobody was picking it up. Then suddenly Saturday morning, we saw an application.
Okay.
Yeah,
Our co-founder called me. Like we were on a call, and this guy was like below. The credit score was not very good, but
yeah.
we still wanted to approve.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did.
So we approved, and uh, we whatever. So it's always a very memorable event, isn't it? The first customer that you get. Yeah.
Yeah, I also wanted to ask one thing, right? So, this whole idea that you have is something like first of its kind. There is no experience.
There was no platform or
Yeah.
player to look from or to take references from, and hence it took us long time to build the solution.
Yeah, so that is like a challenge in itself, right? Because I think I'm also trying to do something which is again like very new, and I think Bala is trying to do something which is first of its kind. So when founders are into a space where ideas are very new, and that kind of business has not really like properly established as yet, or no major players exist, I think the problem that people face is that customers are not aware that this kind of a thing exists, and there is a lot of education that you have to give, or you have to like invest a lot on spreading the awareness, that this is the kind of product that is available to you, these are the things that you can do, even on the business side, right? So you have this customer engagement, but you also have your financial organizations who are coming on board, and you just mentioned that they were taking time because this is for first experience for them also. So like I just want to understand how, what is your thought process around this, and how like founders who are doing things for the first time can benefit, and what kind of thought process they should have.
For category definition
Yeah, for
products,
category
right?
kind of businesses where you are defining a new category, you're getting in a new category, and there is no benchmark for you, or customers are also not aware that this kind of a thing works in such and such way, and this is what we'll get out of it.
Yeah. Uh, Again, Kula. So I think some experience and some understanding is always required if you want to build something in a industry which is a long established industry, but you want to do something in a new way. You, if you don't understand the space, and if you don't really have the experience, then it will take you more hit and trials. It's not like it's impossible. It will take you more hit and trials before you can achieve what you want to achieve. So in our case, because I had some understanding, and again, mortgage and loans are two very different type of products, but underwriting and the basics are same. The decisioning, the way decision happens is same. On mortgage, it's more.
My question is more around the fact that, not from a founder's perspective. I feel you probably are in a place that you understand what you are building in the product well. But when, as a company, you are communicating the value to the customers,
Yeah.
how do you do that for something which is very new?
Cool. If I go back in time, so we basically made sure the messaging on the websites or the landing pages where customer land is very clear, and we highlight the point like what you see is what you get. Those sort of phrases we were using during those times. So it's only with the acquiring more customers, you can educate more people. But when we launched in Jan 2019, within 6 months, many big players also already started doing real rate comparison, because they now knew what they have to build to achieve real rate comparison, which made the awareness part easy. So we did the onus to spread the awareness was not only on us. So other big players, big sharks of the market started doing unit comparison within 6 months, because they already had the relationship with the lenders. They knew they have to build some APIs to achieve that. That made our job easy. And again, if you want to spread awareness for a new right from scratch, there you need money, because awareness and customer acquisition are two different things. And because we were a company, so our focus was more on customer acquisition, on which we can immediately earn the money back. So we did not think, and we did not think of spreading the awareness without acquiring the customer. So through customer acquisition, we spread the awareness by putting right messaging on that events and on the website and throughout the customer journey. So customer is fully aware that how we are different to other players. But we did not do any specific activity just to spread the word. Real rate comparison is there, a new thing is there. We did not do
Fair.
things.
No,
We
no,
did not.
that's fair enough. Yeah, yeah, that is what I was trying to get to. That you're, I think you're playing around with the messaging, and your messaging is very clear as to what you are trying, what
Yeah,
value is this.
messaging should be very crisp and should be easy to catch, easy to understand. Because if the messaging is longer, people don't have patience to read longer messages. So we did a lot of brainstorming with our copywriting team, which was very small but was very efficient. And we came up with phrases like "you get what you see," "making loans easy and real," things like that. So we tried many versions of the messaging. Yeah.
Yeah. One question, as you mentioned this competition, so is this something you anticipated that, hey, there are all these players who are doing a different kind of comparison, and you know that the moment you launch it, they will also come into this space, right? So yeah.
So I call myself original and I call those competitors copycats. So original already always remain original and copycats always remain copycats, because we had to struggle a lot. We had to build many things, break many things to achieve what we managed to achieve. Those capabilities and those learnings are actually now helping us to take the product and platform even further. Those big platforms, and some of them we have recently, very recently spoken as well, they have no clue what to do next. Hence copycats, like you can see and you can try to replicate someone, but then you can just replicate. You have not gone through the learning journey. You don't know their senses and their plans or their journey, so you can't build new thing again. Like if we launch something new, they'll again be able to copy that, but we'll always be the first mover or the first builder. We lost the opportunity to benefit from being the first solver, because we were a bootstrapped business that point of time. And I was actually not racing with anyone. I did not have in my mind that okay, I want to like I want to compete, or I want to build some sort of moat so that they don't understand. I did not have those things in my mind, because it was a very up and down sort of journey in my case. So I just wanted to solve it. Like I only wanted to solve it. I did not have other things in my mind. Okay, if I lose moat, or how do I protect the IP, or how do I protect the solutions? Yeah. So hence movers came to the market, and because they were already big, they're still very big. But because we had tried a lot, we had built a lot of things. Those things are now helping as foundation for other things we are building on top of that, and we're building some really impactful things for market and for the customers, and the next phases of developments, or the next features or products which will come to the market will be very impactful, and it will take longer for those big sharks to replicate, because those will be slightly more complex things.
So you're saying what people can copy is what they see on the website and
They
product,
don't
right?
know what's behind.
The learning behind is hard to understand and
Yeah.
copy. And how did you decide to do this in a bootstrapped way? Say, you didn't have a running business. Now that you know you built a business and you're getting customers, did you think about raising funds, or is this a call you took to do it in a bootstrapped way?
So again, the day I started the business, and just like I mentioned, I come from a typical business family where people do typical businesses like run factories or run other type of old style businesses. So usually in families like my, people build businesses with their own money. Like if you're a new kid or a grown up, when I say new kid, like someone who is new or want to build a new business, you always start with your own money. You spend 10-15 years working very hard in setting up the factory, because you know that once the factory is set up, then you can relax and you can enjoy later part of the life. But I have always seen every single family member, my relative, building the businesses with their own money. So I thought till that point of time started the business, that the only way businesses are built is that way, like starting with your own money. I did not have a clue about VC and funding and equity firms. I really did not know about them. I did not have a clue that okay, this is how other startups build their businesses. So because I did not know that okay, something like VC funding or private equity funding or those things also exist, I did not know them, and did not know about that, and I started on my own. And because I had already started the journey, and just like I mentioned, I have attitude of not leaving something in middle and done or half done. So I just wanted to continue on my own, and again my family supported me. My parents really supported me throughout the journey, because during the initial phase it was eating a lot of money.
But it's hard, right? That when you mentioned that you launched the product and you saw the big sharks coming in with a lot of money into the same space, doing the same thing, did you not think that they will get the edge because of the money that they have, because you are bootstrapped? Like, at that point, what was the decision? Like,
Yeah. So if you're not already from startup background, if you're not already worked with startups or fintechs, you don't know about the things, the way these startups or fintechs play their game, like always having mode, always going aggressive, always have attitude of killing the market or competitors. You don't know about these things at all. So I just did not have any any thought about big sharks will come, they will eat my mode, or they will eat my space, or they'll eat my customers, they'll have big money. I just wanted to build a solution, and I knew in my mind it's a big ocean. It's a big ocean where it's enough for everyone to eat and to gain from. And like I had those simple things in my mind. Like I already knew it's a big ocean, so no matter if there are big players in the market, I'll still be able to make my space. So I think trying to make your space is more important than trying to protect or trying to having an edge over competitors. Because in early stages, like you anyway can't compete with big players. Like if someone is big, they're big. Yeah, you can't compete or beat them on day one. On day one, what is important is to find ways to make your space, make your entry into the ocean. And once you have entered, then you work further how to grow your how to grow your pie, or how to grow your space within the ocean. So I just wanted to enter the ocean. I just wanted to be part of players for this country.
Wow, very inspirational. You are like a true.
Like it's the business. It's not me who was who learned all those things when I was born. No, it's a life and the business. Again, business is like life and business are very beautiful things. You never find a situation in your life or in your business which can't be solved. Everything is solvable. Like we have never found a single business problem in past 8 9 years we could not solve. Like there were some serious problems, some issues, like where we thought, okay, like business can go bust if we don't solve it. But we use the right side of the brain to basically think from that perspective to solve the problem, rather than letting our emotional side take over the brain. Yeah. Yeah, in life also, like all your problems are solvable. What mindset you using see the problem is what defines whether you'll solve it or you'll just go in other direction.
Yeah. Yeah. Now let's move on to the next blocker. I don't know if you want to call it that. The COVID. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So so we were in better position in December 2019, January 2020, and then COVID came, and the very first industry which completely stopped the business was lending industry, because lenders did not even know if this person will be alive in few months or not. Everyone was dying. So many people were dying. So lenders completely shut their shop. Like they stopped lending immediately. The money completely stopped giving money to people, and our revenue went back to zero again. The revenue went back to zero, but the experience of actually doing, like the learnings from actually doing business for 6 7 months were a lot. Like we used the COVID period to rebuild the entire infrastructure. We literally rebuild the entire infrastructure, because now we knew how this business will happen. We had a real experience of 6 7 months of actual operations. So when we rebuilt the entire infrastructure, we wanted to build it in a way which is scalable. So earlier we were trying to crack it, like trying to find the solution, how this will be solved. But after finding out and after working with lender for 6 7 months, we knew what important things we now need, and COVID basically gave us the opportunity to work with full concentration without any distraction. We did not have to speak to lenders or report to people, or have discussions or calls with anyone. The whole tech team and I worked together like remotely through everyone in the company worked very hard to use the COVID period in the best possible way. And most of our technical capabilities, tech infrastructure was built during that COVID period.
So that
yeah,
is
I think I heard the same from a lot of founders. I mean, not in our podcast, like the
Because
podcast I
one
listened
year
to.
was really like,
Yeah.
I think that was the year which was a golden year for the business,
no,
not from
but
monetary perspective, but
yeah.
from tech building perspective. Yeah.
So my question is that, when like I when I go back to that time, 2020, when COVID is coming, there is like this. there is a lot of fear around that, you know, this virus will take human civilization away and there'll be like so many deaths and there is so much uncertainty and you are actually fearing for your life and you are like, you are basically freaking out every time you are breathing heavily or you have shortness of breath. Kind of a situation in that kind of a mental space, how does one figure this as an actually an opportunity to rebuild the system and rebuild the infrastructure and, you know, I mean, I am like, I just want to understand that were you not concerned or about the uncertainty and things that were happening around you? Because this is like a very optimistic path that you took, that you knew that one day this is going to end, life is going to get normal, and at that point we have to scale, so let's build for that, right? So this is the kind of thought process that I see here, which is very difficult for me to comprehend because at that time I was just fearing that, you know, I might die tomorrow.
Yeah. So again, if you're mentally strong person, you don't overthink about what will happen in future. You live in present, and you want to use the present time in the best possible way. So I think I never had any negative feeling that the world will end or this business will never work again. I think in our case, it was opposite because we had seen the actual operations for 6, 7 months. We now knew that it will work. So we were even more passionate and positive to now build it even in most.
This is very interesting from two
Yet,
ways, right? So,
money coming in and things happening. Yeah.
yeah, see, this is exciting in two ways. Like one, like Pragati, what you said, that everybody's fearing for life, you are building. Second, your business is going to zero and you're not worried, you're building, right? It's like crazy. Yeah.
We had tested a success for a very short period of time in doing what we
So
want.
that gave you the momentum to move.
So we were
Yeah.
actually more motivated because now we knew it will work. Okay, it's high time to build a more robust system. I think the people who were part of the team that point of time were also positive mindset. And again, like the leader pass the energy and the mindset team. So I think they followed me and they worked. They decided to work with me. Everyone was working remotely. Like it was, I think for 12, 14, 16 months, but it was a very, like, I really think in our business, it was a golden age. It was a golden period when we really like rebuilt everything and built in a very sophisticated way.
So when did you restart the operations?
April 2021 with a very small volume. So it was a pause, a complete business pause for 14 months. And then some lenders started giving a few loans every now and then, smaller ticket size loans. And then I think in June, July 2021, market opened up. Again, it was a phased restart by lenders, but market opened up. Many lenders started lending again. And then in UK, government has some programs to support individuals like furlough schemes. If your salary is reduced or you're made redundant or unemployed, government will pay you full salary, what you used to have before COVID. So this is also one of the benefits of developed countries of matured governments is like you have these protections and government think more from more like in a matured way. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's continue the journey. Now, yeah, let's talk about the growth story. Like, yeah, now COVID is over, company is
Yeah.
growing. Yeah, how things are from that point onwards till now, and how did you find American?
Cool.
Yeah, let's discuss that.
Yeah. So after COVID ended, and because we got the opportunity to work remotely with a remote team, it triggered a thought in my mind that it's time, and remote team can work remotely. It's time for me to move to UK because before COVID, it was a full-time office-based setup. Like every employee would come to office 5 days a week, and we had never worked remotely. Never had to work remotely. Hence, we never knew how to work remotely. But COVID gave us the opportunity to basically try remote working and learn how to work remotely in an efficient way. And after working remotely for 16, 18 months, we then learned how to work remotely. And because everyone was working remotely and things were happening, So I thought, okay, it's the right time for me to go to move to UK permanently. Before that, I was making trips in between UK and India whenever meetings were happening or meetings were scheduled. I would make trip, and whenever there is some important thing in UK, come to UK. But after COVID, I had the idea in my mind that okay, it's time for to move to the UK, and then yeah, again to grow the business, because when you are sitting on table in person with lenders, with partner, easy to crack the partnership rather than speaking with them on Zoom or Google. And many lenders were also very new to these Zoom and Google, and I remember people used to take 15 minutes just to understand how to join a call, and also used to take a lot of to do the same.
Yeah, I didn't know that you all this while you were based out of India. Like I missed that somehow. So
Yeah,
you were
yeah, yeah. I was still based in India. Yes, I moved to UK in 2022, in August 2022. Before that, it was, yeah, I was permanently based in India, but I used to make trips between India and UK. Yeah, so
amazing. Like you are building a company which is based out of UK, but you are based out of India.
the entire team was based out of India. Not only me, everyone was based out of India. Like we built a business, a UK business right from India. Hence, I'm saying everything is doable, everything is achievable. It depends what your mindset is like, how you're using your mindset, like what you're allowing your mindset to think and not to think. So, cool. So business started picking up really when we understood what type of customers we required, because we had an experience of 6, 7 months of actual operations and revenue generation. So when the lending restarted fully in June, July 2021, we already knew what we have to do. We had a hands-on experience, first-hand experience. So business picked up really well, and business was doing really well, and which basically motivated me to migrate to UK. And in August 2022, I migrated to UK, and I started using a co-working space in the UK. And in India also, we had a co-working space. So I already understood the benefits of the concept of co-working spaces. So the very nearest co-working space near to my home was the one which I started using, and I had basically like I used to work till very late in India in Indian co-working office, and I used to work till very late in UK co-working office as well. I used to be one of the very few people who would stay in the office beyond 8, 9 p.m. So when I started using this co-working space in UK, I make many friends here, and also one of the person who became my friend in UK, one of the first friends, like proper friend in UK, with whom I'll speak every day. I'll spend a couple of hours speaking every single day. And he was working in his own data related startup, like data monetization, loyalty based startup. And we were friends for 6 months already. And then that he has left his startup to other co-founders, and I told him why it's a solo founder business. I'm a solo founder business, and I've been running it for very long, so it will be good support to me if someone joined me, someone like you joined me as a co-founder. And then he did some of his research. He took some time, like a month or month and a half, and then after that he decided to join the business, and he has been like helping me a lot. Like he's taking care, like he has skill sets which are fully complementary to me. Like we don't have conflicting skill sets. So he's working on corporatization of the business, and like what is the right word? Like he's the person who do branding of the business, speak to people, attend events, and where I lacked, because I was always like the doer, like, and I used to be a very introvert person before starting the business. But because when you start a business, you have to speak to many people. You learn how to speak to people. So Emric helped me, is helping me in those areas of the business. Has been like the partnership has been going really well. Like we're getting along, like we get along very well, and it's going. It's a good partnership. Yeah, I found a good co-founder, and again. Uh, I was not in desperation to find a co-founder. I did not try to find a co-founder because I knew it's a very challenging business. This business has a lot of uncertainties, and things go up and down very quickly in our type of businesses. So after that initial tech team left, so I had in my mind that I'll only involve skilled people when I'm confident that okay, this business will help them or improve their life. I will not bring people to risk their life with the business. But when I was in UK and when the time Emric told me he left his business, our business was doing really good, really good. So I was very confident that Emric would benefit by joining the business, and business would also benefit with Emric's support. So we decided to become.
Yeah, this is also interesting just to understand. So it's not that, yeah, you've been running this business by yourself for so long,
Yeah.
and then you decided to bring someone and as a co-founder. So it's not that you wanted a co-founder. So how
Yeah.
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In simple terms, in simplest way, we can understand this is like when you keep working, like things coming together, like things start coming to you, and right things start coming to you. So the very important thing is to keep working. Like even though you're struggling or you have challenges, you keep working and you'll keep finding right people in your journey. So that has happened with me. Like when I decided to move to UK, I did not know that if I start using this co-working, if I move to UK, I'll find a co-founder. But things happen on its own. Again, like your willingness, what you want to achieve, and how seriously you want to achieve, the universe start working for you. So it really happened. Those things really happen. Like if you're decided you want to achieve, things start becoming easier for you. And again, true love is required. If you truly want to achieve it, things start coming to you. You don't have to find them. Things come to you. Just like Ankush. So I also want to name our one of very recent hires, Ankush, who has joined us as a CTO of the business. Very renowned person, very skilled, very sophisticated person. He was head of engineering in Bharat Pay and was head of engineering in PayU as well. Was joined the business a few months back as CTO of the business. And again, with his experience, with his skill set, we are trying to repackage, make tweaks in our infrastructure to make our infrastructure ready for the AI age. So the way we are forcing the next wave of technology shift is like next 10-15 years will be AI dominant. AI will transform many businesses, many industries, the way businesses operate in those industries. AI will transform. And using AI tools here and there is not making yourself ready for the AI. For you to make your infrastructure ready for the AI, you'll have to work on many areas of the infrastructure. So Ankush is basically repackaging, making tweaks, required tweaks in the infrastructure, so that our business is ready for the AI age, so that we can benefit most. Our infrastructure can benefit most with the developments happening in the AI world.
okay. Yeah, I think in this podcast, we didn't discuss any technical or product aspects, but this is a topic I'm also passionate about. So I think, yeah, we all know and say that AI is going to impact every industry. So what is your idea on like how is AI going to impact the financial services industry? And when you said you are trying to work on it, maybe you can like talk about the product side of things in this context on AI for financial services and this space.
Yeah. So I think in next few years we will definitely see your personalized AI credit advisor or financial advisor, which will be bespoke to you, which will know everything about you and which will know everything about the world. But that AI advisor is your personalized AI advisor. I'm very confident we'll see this happening. And as a loan company, as a credit company, we will try to make your personalized loan advisor or credit AI based credit advisor who will advise you on all credit financial products. And AI advisors, AI personalized bespoke advisors will be a reality. And you as a business can benefit in the best way from AI development if your infrastructure is ready for it. Like your infrastructure could be good for your current requirement of the business or for your current business, but for it to be able to communicate with AI developments or AI sophistication, like all the legacy businesses and all the past businesses will have to make changes, and we are in process of making those changes so that we can benefit more capabilities in the future.
Yeah, I agree. I think on the consumer side, personalization will be the key. When we say personalization, I think it'll be at a very deep level, right?
Yeah, and I think this is happening across the industries, right? That with the help of AI, you can actually personalize at a very deep level, and this is something similar to exactly what I am also trying to do, which is I'm trying to personalize the shopping experience, the day-to-day experience. So that is very relevant and the key.
So is that why you're also in the fundraise mode? Because this is like a big problem and big vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So uh, it's very recently we decided to go for fundraise. Again, because our business is a immediate cash generating business. So business can generate is generating enough cash for itself to grow naturally. But what we have realized that the kind of infrastructure we have built, we managed to build is very robust, very sophisticated. So this is the reason, like we want to grow. We have to capitalize the infrastructure we have built because otherwise it would be very unfair to the developers who worked with the business for many years if we don't make it very big from the business side of the business. So one of the reason is to grow aggressively. Second, we are planning to launch in US market in early 2026. So we would need additional resources and there will be a lot of spendings to crack to understand US market because just like I mentioned, it happens very rarely that you succeed in your first attempt. Sometimes it take multiple attempts, and when it require multiple attempts, you lose money for the first few attempts, and you have to be more prepared by raising the funding for those initial few attempts. Further, we are betting big on AI. Again, to do many things parallelly, you require additional resources, and to be able to hire additional resources, you require additional capital. So all these things together convinced us to now look for investment. And we have seen like they're getting very good interest from different type of investors from different part of the world. In fact, our is a case where we are holding the investor. They want to do due diligence, and we are telling them like we'll start the process later. That is the case with
Great
the
place to be in.
yeah. We're trying to understand how we can do this fundraise rightly. It's very first fundraise of the business, and we want to make sure we do it right because your first couple of fundraises decide how big you can be, how creative you can be, and want to make sure we do it right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also key what kind of investors you bring on board, right? It's not just the money, what the other value they add.
Yeah, the
Yes.
strategic
Exactly.
help that you get. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see how you go from here. All the
Very
best.
excited as well. Yeah.
So you are trying to raise from US investors or like here is there any
So yeah, we have good interest from US investors. We are receiving good interest from European investors and some interest from UK investors as well. Yeah, yeah. More what we are finding that the US investors have more entrepreneur mindset, and for some reason in UK mindset is slightly restricted. Like they're more risk averse, but that is fine. Like it's cultural, but we'll see.
you would have heard this term, right? Old money versus new money.
Correct, correct,
A
correct,
lot
correct.
of UK money is old money, which is like risk averse. Yeah, is that what you're seeing or
Yes. So. Again, that is a fact with the UK. It's not that we are the first people talking about that, but again, if we think from their perspective, it has benefits as well. If it's a generational money like which is passed to you after after 4 5 generations of wealth passing, then you would want to protect it as well. So it's just that, yeah.
yeah?
It,
And
money, more new age businessmen who now want to invest back to the society or to the economy, and yeah, it's just that.
yeah, but having said that, I think fintech UK has probably the best ecosystem for fintech, both in terms of investors and startups, isn't it? So
Yeah. So I think we took a very good decision to launch in US,
yeah,
UK. Yeah, that was the best decision. because it's actually a very good playground for any company, any financial company to learn the best skills which is required in any financial business, because the regulation is top notch. Like the entire world follow UK regulator. So regulations happen in UK are made in UK a few years ahead of any part of the world. In financial things happen in UK first, and then it's spread to other parts of the world. Also, because UK and Europe are more or less one. So the best brains from the Europe come to UK, and they come to UK, and like they are the best brains. So if you have to compete, or if you have to build products which they are building, then your product has to be top notch, which basically pushes you, motivates you, and teaches you how to build good products, good customer experiences. So if I compare UK fintechs with some of the fintechs of other parts of the world, like the very detailed working companies do here in customer experience, in customer journey in other part of the world, businesses don't care. They don't even know they have to care about those minute detailing work in the customer experience and in the product development. So it was a good playground for us to learn the important skills. And now, because we think we have learned the skill, and in your lifetime you only have to learn once, and once you have learned playing some sport or some game, you want to play it everywhere, and want to be fair to our developers by using this infrastructure in a bigger playground in bigger market. So hence the idea is to launch in US so that we can monetize on the hard work we have done, and we can be fair to our developers. Yeah. Because yeah, a slightly smaller country, like the population is very small, but the kind of infrastructure we built, like it can be used in many bigger parts, and we'll do justice with our developers only if we use it in bigger areas, bigger
You should come to India also.
maybe at some point of time.
Growth market.
Yeah, however, it's a different war field. India is totally different country. Like many Western countries try to launch in India, most of them failed. Some of them are still operating in India because India is a different war field. But Indian mindset is very like once you understand the Indian mindset, then it becomes slightly easier. But we'll definitely launch in India. And that's where I've come from. Like whatever I am, because I was born in India, so I want to serve India.
Awesome.
Great. I think we covered a lot. Is there anything else, Gurprit, like you want to talk about that we didn't discuss?
So I have a few points. For example, as a business, we have identified few areas where there is a big vacuum, and lenders are struggling to serve customers, and the way underwriting is happening in today's world is very outdated. The underwriting methods, the way lenders do underwriting is very outdated, and we want to basically enable the lenders to be able to serve the customers in those segments. For example, your recent credit repayment footprints hold a very important part in any lender's underwriting. Your recent credit repayment footprint, basically your recent loan, credit card, mortgage repayment footprints in the bureau file, is a very important element in any lender's underwriting. So what we are seeing in some of the segments, if you don't have any recent credit repayment footprint, lenders are unable to assess your credit worthiness, and they decide to decline your application. But what we have understood about these customers when we dig deeper into data, that these customers are actually not risky customers. They're actually good customers. They're more responsible customers. They did not take any unnecessary loan or credit card because they did not need it. Like they're more aware customers, and they are getting penalized because they are more responsible customers. So want to change, fix some of those things, and we are working, we're building some product at the moment to help lenders serve this underserved or unserved population. My definition, my understanding of financial inclusion is in three parts. So financial inclusion has banking inclusion element, has payment inclusion element, and then credit inclusion element. So financial inclusion is basically these three things together. There are many neobanks in UK which allow anyone to open bank account easily. There are many payment tech companies around the world. but nobody is working on credit inclusion, because this is the toughest area. For you to do something in the credit space, you need a lot of experience, you need understanding of nitty gritties of credit and decisioning and underwriting. And we are focusing on credit inclusion and want to enable these customers for the credit product. Because what we are also seeing in UK, people don't have money to spend. People are actually money deprived. If people don't have money to spend, they won't be able to buy the products. If they don't buy the products, factories won't have to produce the products. If factory won't have to produce the product, they won't have to hire employees. If they don't hire employees, like, the employment will go down, the whole economy will go down. So we want to make it easy for people to access the capital, and we want to make it easy for the money holders to deploy the capital to the market. So the whole things get revived.
I think growing from the classic, whatever Indian family, you always think credit is a bad thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I think I also learned it very, very late, only after joining Moneyview, that credit is the fuel of the economy, right? If there is no credit, the economy doesn't grow.
Correct, correct.
How do
Yeah,
you trust the other person to do something
yeah.
to create more value, right? Right. Yeah, this is credit is so important.
And we are seeing the government here working in that direction to make it easy for money holders to deploy their money into the market. We are seeing regulators are making or working to make it easier for lenders to lend money to the customers. And we are also seeing media talking about how money deprived the country. And it happens very rarely in lifetimes, like when all these big forces or big voices sing the same song in the same way to achieve the same thing. So we want to benefit from what we are seeing will happen, or foreseeing the things which will happen in a few months or maybe a year or two, because we can foresee those things. We want to prepare ourselves to benefit from those things, because that's how you create luck for yourself. Like, luck doesn't come to you, you prepare yourself for something to happen at some future point of time, and we're in that preparation.
Yeah, great. Yeah, you have to make your own luck, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Great group. This is like really good chat we had.
This is really a honest and unfiltered conversation. I think like
Yeah,
really
yeah.
took it to your heart. But
I
anything like
hope, I hope whoever watches this video or listen to this video, like, and if they are either planning to start their own business or their own startup, or they are currently start running a startup or struggling in the startup, like, you should not quit. Like, if you really believe in your idea and really think the idea will be useful for the customers, because customers should be the first one to benefit from your development, your product, and your idea. If you're very confident, if you're sure they will benefit, then there's no reason for which you should ever quit. Challenges are always there. Whatever you do in your life, you'll have your challenges. Even like vegetable seller has its own set of challenges. Sometimes rain happens, sometimes mandis are closed, sometimes something happens. So whatever you do, you'll have challenges. So it's not that your business is the only business which is very challenging. Every business, everything has its own set of challenges. Just keep the right mindset. Just try to find ways. Just try to find ways, and you'll find ways. If you just think about problem as a problem, then it's not the right way to think. The right way to think is to accept problem as a problem and then to think how to solve it. Yeah.
Great. So there goes the advice to the founders.
yes, yeah, this is what I was asking for, and you
Yeah, yeah.
answered the
This is
question.
this is always our last question. Yeah, you answered it. Yeah, great. Thanks a lot, Gurprit, once again.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thanks a lot,
hosting me.
Gurprit. This is very
every founder story is different, and but the common threads are same, right? The persistence, relentlessness. I think one key thing I understood from this discussion is the whole learner's mindset, right? Like he always believed that, hey, he's an outsider, he doesn't know, so he's willing to learn, open-minded. Right? I think that's how he approaches. Like for
yeah.
us, I think this whole, hey, we know this is probably what is like blocking. I don't want to generalize it.
No, that humility, right? That being aware of the things that you don't know. But you know, that is what at some point in time during the podcast, I was also trying to get to his mindset. And he mentioned something about like having the mindset emotionally like strong, having that kind of strength. And At that point I got a little bit nervous, that maybe like this is something that people are born with, and you are either that or not. But it really resonated, like when he said that he was not that and then he became that. So it's really about understanding and working on these areas.
Yeah, I think learning is not just the skills, right? It's also about learning about yourself and like fixing your personality. That is the close of another interesting and exciting episode. I will take a lot of inspiration from this. I hope it inspires you guys too. Thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe for more such educational and inspirational content.